Geil. I am a full stack developer, mostly Microsoft Sphere. I am sort of new to Lexington. I've been here about a year. I moved from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Joe asked me to, do it 15 minutes, fill some time, so I can talk about anything for 15 minutes. One thing I did find interesting earlier, there was a QR code up there, and Joe's like, "That's last year's. I'm sorry. I just want to know how." Let's see. So tonight I'm going to talk about Vue JS, which is a JavaScript framework. How many people here actually work in JavaScript? Okay, smattering. Okay, so this would be, some of this is maybe over your head, but it's a good introduction. There are some really cool frameworks out there. This is just one I work with. Let's get on to the first slide here. I'm just kind of threw some bullet points together. Let's see. Vue was developed in 2014 by a man named Evan You. It's a personal project. I believe he was working with Google at the time, who also has a similar framework called Angular, and he didn't really care for it. It was a little bit more complicated than he thought it should be. One of the nice things about it is it is a very short learning curve. I've worked with Angular in the past, and it was a lot of work to get up to that, to get up to speed on it. This is written, obviously, to be more simple. I like it a lot. It's great for beginners. There are two other big frameworks out there, React and Angular. I talked about Angular earlier. React is a Facebook framework created by Facebook. It's pretty big. It's really popular. And anyway, let's see. Number two, let's see. Vue obviously features reactivity system that uses this plain JavaScript objects. It's optimized. Let's see. Let's see. Each of the components actually tracks its reactive dependencies and rendering. So the system knows when to price and when to re-render. It makes use of a thing called proxies, JavaScript proxies, to keep track of the state of the objects. I'm going to get into a little bit of code later. You can kind of see it. One of the nice things I like about it is they actually have a built-in router, which is it's kind of hard to explain to someone that's not really into these frameworks, but it does allow for single-page applications to be written really easily. It doesn't rely on like what they call hash routing or bang hash routing. It's all built in. It's got a nice API. It actually supports back button, which is kind of neat. That was really my first introduction to routers that had a back button ability. So if you hit the back button, it knows that where you are. Let's see. One of the nice things about it is it has a thing called single file components. I'll show this a little bit later. What it does, it basically puts all of your HTML, your JavaScript, and any style sheets into one actual file. And instead of being spread across others and trying to import them into one file, it's all in one. It's easy to read, and I'll show you a little bit later. I'll show you how it gets embedded. So miscellaneous stuff for the more advanced people. You can use TypeScript with this now. They've moved from Vue is now in version 3. Version 2, TypeScript was kind of iffy, but version 3, it's totally supported. It can use JSX, which is for all the React people. That's a nice thing. Does server-side rendering. There is a mobile app development via native script. I've never really looked at this. I'd like to look at it sometime. And there's a state management library called Pina that everyone's starting to use now. So let's see. Okay, let's dig a little deeper into this. There is a comparisons between React and Vue. I know a lot of people, when I talk about Vue, they're always wondering, well, what's it like versus React? I kind of threw a few things in here. React, about 6 years ago, the project I'm on, which is using Vue, I looked into React, and at the time React was kind of a mess. It's gotten better. Ember is around here. There's Ember. He did a really nice, she did a really nice talk on React on one of the JavaScript meetups, and so I learned a little bit more, and they've come up better, but still, I still like Vue better. Sorry, Ember. Vue seems to do a lot more automatic stuff than React. React seems to be you have to include a lot of imports and a lot of libraries to make things happen. React kind of like just works out of the box. There's not really any need to say, yeah, I want to just track these states. It's a little bit easier and a little bit makes a little bit more sense to me on how the reactivity works. Although React's usage is about 40% for JavaScript users that use these kind of frameworks versus about 20% for Vue, React is probably still the framework you want if you're looking for a job in JavaScript. It's still a big employment bonus. Some of the bigger companies, obviously, Facebook, Walmart, Airbnb, and Vue, they have their Nintendo and BMW and Motley Fool. There's a few like that, and then there are actually some that actually use both. So, and like I said before, React has a steeper learning curve. Vue is easy to learn and implement. So, I guess if you're really interested in JavaScript using these frameworks, you could pick up Vue and then later on move into React. Because once you get your head around how reactivity works, this is a good starting spot. This is a single file component. I kind of highlighted the parts of it. This is one file. The top part up there is your HTML, and the middle part is your script. You do your imports and your event handlers and things like that. And below you've got your style sheet, which I call like blue. And then, and so here are some resources. Obviously, the Vue JS page. Their website's actually pretty good for a framework company. Their help is very easy to read. They've got lots of examples. They keep up with it. There's another web app out there. John Bleiberg did a really, really awesome talk on Vue in the JavaScript meetup recently. This is a great link if you want to take a look at it. And there's a lot of courses out there, free ones, gimmies, our videos, our courses. You can find them just Googling them. It's a great place to get started. And obviously the Kentucky JavaScript Users Group, we have it here in Lexington, and Ember does a virtual one too for people out of state or like in Cincinnati or Louisville that can't make it. Does a good job. I'm sorry I missed the last one, the virtual one. I meant to be there. Okay, I'll show you some code. Let's get in here. And since my computer rebooted, I'm going to have to, I had it all set up. Where the hell is it? There it is. Oh, cool, it kept it. Nice, it did something right. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so here is, I'm going to take this off the stand and kind of walk over here. This is the app. This is the straight app that's going to come up. And up here you see Hello World. That's a single file component. I'll show you that next. As you can see, it's got the template, the script, and the style. And I wanted to kind of point out that there's a style blue dash text up there that's being used in the main app. And I will show you the Hello World app. Okay, now this is the component that it's going into. And let me get this thing running. I always forget how to just hold on just a second. go. Got it up and running. So and let's go back to the app here. I don't want to run out of time. You see the app here is that Vite and Vue, and then there's that blue text at the top, and then the section under it there with the count equals 0, that is the component, which is this. So as you can see, this is reactive, and that means you can make things happen on here. You can click things, and it won't refresh the page. It just automatically, you know, works through itself like that, which is really cool. And I wanted to just show you something that's pretty cool. There is this concept of scoping in this. I will show you. See where it says style scoped. What it does is it scopes anything here into this component so it doesn't like dirty up the rest of the app. So as you can see, I've got 3 minutes left here. Let's get into there. There it is. That's what I wanted. There we go. Right there. As you can see, I got blue text here, but then it adds in this extra attribute so that it identifies this blue text, which I used in the main page, versus the blue text down here, which I call it here. So it gives it two different attributes, so that blue text could mean something totally different than the main page's blue text. So it's a nice thing. That's what the scoping does. So I've got 2 minutes left, so I don't think there's any time for Q&A, so we are done.